How's it going? This is Rye from Doug's Fish and Reptiles. I just wanted to stop in and do a quick video on some of my tanks and go a little more in depth about them. This will be the first of many long form videos. Alright, this is another one of the setups I've got going. In here currently, as far as fish go, I just have that green chromis and then two normal Ocellaris clownfish. This is a 32-gallon BioCube, so really small tank. And I'm not quite sure yet if I'm even going to end up getting corals for it. If I keep these clownfish in here, I'd probably like to get an anemone for them, but that is not required with most of these clowns because lots of the clowns you see are captive bred and they really haven't ever seen an anemone in their life, so they'll kind of host anything like a rock or whatever. But they're really cool little fish. Everyone knows them. I'm definitely not as well versed in saltwater as I am with fresh, but I'm learning a lot. I have been keeping freshwater on and off for about 12 or 13 years, and then I decided to get into doing some saltwater stuff. So I've got this tank, and then I have it's about a 72-gallon cube rectangle tank that I need to get going at some point. And then I have one of my local fish stores is going to be bringing in a 150-gallon to my place within the next couple weeks and helping me set that up. And so for that 150, I'm just going to be doing a fish only with live rock, no corals, so I don't have to worry about fish that are reef safe. And then I'll probably do some sort of tang, maybe a puffer if I can fit it. I'd like a harlequin tusk potentially, just that sort of stuff, kind of more predatory, bit bigger saltwater fish. But in here, it's just these fish for now. If you can see down here, under there, there's a snail. I have two snails in here because what happens with a lot of new saltwater tanks is you'll get this brown algae in the front here on the glass and on rocks, everything. And so those snails will help out with that. And then over here, we've just got a little blue-legged hermit. And there's another one in there. Yeah, I think it's right behind him. But these guys are little scavengers, so they'll just scavenge around the aquarium. I think they're really cool looking. And I have some other sorts of snails in here that have just come in with live rock, which is just something that'll happen when you get really cycled live rock. And then there's also some bristle stars that came in the same way. But this tank is doing really well. I'm happy with how it's turning out. I ordered a new pump because I'm just not a fan of the one that I have right now. It's not the one that the BioCube comes with, but it's one that the previous owner had upgraded, but I'd rather just get the Sicce 1.5. The little green chromis right there. Pretty hard to get good video on this tank with the lighting as far as the fish go because it's pretty bright, and so... But all the fish are doing well, and this tank's turning out really nice. All right, now this is the 180-gallon aquarium. I am currently treating this tank for ick because it was introduced to the tank, unfortunately. The yellowish water is just due to all this driftwood that I've added is new. Which will release tannins into your water and cause yellow or brown water. Lots of fish in here. I might even forget to say what some of them are, but this little guy is one of the two kissing gouramis I have in here. Really unique, cool little fish. There's both of them. I've got 5 of these spanner barbs right here, if I can keep track of them. Then I have 6 of these filamentosa. They are similar to the mascara barbs, Really active, really cool fish. These guys will eat right out of my hand. Here is a gold Severum that I have been having lots of trouble with, and he's just not doing too well. I got him very recently from a local fish store, and ever since I got him, he just has not done well and is not looking too good. These guys are looking great though. I have 5 clown loaches in here. Beware, these guys get very large. They're peaceful, but they get very large. They do grow slowly, but I mean, you're gonna need a big tank for them. That is a Shilbe marmoratus, I think. I don't know the exact species, but African butter catfish is something they are sometimes called. They're pretty cool. And here, back there, is a little Geophagus, and that is the red hump. I have 2 of those in here, along with 2 chocolate cichlids. Right now, the tank, if everything was full grown, it would be pretty overstocked, but I will handle it if it comes to being too overstocked. I'm currently running 3 FX6 filters on it, which is a lot of filtration, so the fish are doing pretty good. Definitely, except everything in here except that Severum is doing great. And then you can kind of see that guy down there. I've got 7 of those little one-line Pimelodella. They're a catfish from South America that gets about 6 inches generally. And they do like to school up. You won't really see much of them if you have a lot of decor like this, except for at night. When you feed, they'll really come out, and they're super cool little cats. And this is the last tank I'll be showing today. This is the big tank. I mean, the 180 is big too, but this is the 210 African cichlid tank. It's just haps and peacocks in here, along with a couple monster Synodontis ocellifer, and then a featherfin right there. These ocellifer I picked up over the weekend, and they are just massive, huge, but they're doing great. It's a mix of peacocks and haps, but mostly haps. That is a Buccochromis noditania right there, also called stripeback hap. This guy is a Venustus, also called the giraffe cichlid. That's just some male OB peacock back there, the pink one. And this is the only Lake Victorian hap that I have in here currently. The rest of this stuff is Lake Malawi. But he's small, but he holds his own. Here is an Azurius. The blues on him are insane. It's kind of hard to capture on camera, but really cool. That guy is a Fusco. And then this is the other peacock that's in here, the yellow saffron. And then somewhere in here I have a starry night cichlid. They aren't from either Lake Malawi or Lake Victoria, but they're really cool fish. He's just pretty shy, and so I don't see a whole lot of him, but I think he'll grow out of that. There's that Synodontis, peacock, and then the other 2 Synodontis are back there. This guy's looking great. And so this tank, there's been a decent amount of fighting. Nothing terrible, but it's just not stocked very heavily for an African cichlid tank, and that can lead to that. So once it's a bit more stocked and mature, things will get better. This Fusco is really nice, great color. And then the Venustus has always been one of my favorite fish that I hadn't kept until recently, so I love them. And then that Buccochromis is very cool and pretty aggressive. At least mine is. That's it for today. I really appreciate anyone watching. If you could drop a like and subscribe, that'd help out a lot. And this guy's a little blue-legged hermit crab.